everybody. I'm Carla with Race to Walk, and this is another episode in Hack the Saga. I honestly don't even know what episode I'm on right now. I think this may be like 75, 76. I don't know. There's been so much stuff going on recently that I've kind of lost track. But anyway, normally, if you go to my website at racetowalk.org, Hack the Saga, you can see all about it. And actually, I'm doing a test right now on my phone, and the live isn't showing up. So I'm assuming that there's some sort of interference, and this is just more about the whole hacked part. So this is specifically about what I'm going to be talking about. One of the reasons why I'm watching it is if you go, oh, here it is. So hold on. Let me go and see what this, oh, it's right side up. Okay, I'm taking a screenshot of it. If you go to my, this is really weird. Okay, I think what it is that there's a huge delay and I'm glitching. So this is what I think is happening. And this is relevant to what we're talking about, because the topic of the stream today is expose the consequences of fraud. So anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but the long story short is that people I knew from Houston Baptist University that I met in, which is now known as Houston Christian University, which I met in a Christian apologetics program, and that I spent a lot of time promoting when I was volunteering for an Unexpected Journal. Go and listen to the live stream from yesterday where I explained that, because what they did to the live stream from yesterday is they flipped it. My camera was flipped upside down, and I'm looking at the monitor right now and it's showing correctly. It was showing correctly last time too, but when I'm watching looking on my phone for the live stream, there's a huge delay. I mean, usually there is a little bit of a delay, but it's like significant. So what I'm assuming is that somehow they have some sort of, I'm guessing that they're like, it's going through their control before it gets to the live stream. This is what I'm guessing. So this is what we're going to talk about today a little bit. But anyway, they stole my stuff. They've been sabotaging me, hacking my stuff, blocking communications, all kinds of craziness. And what's even more crazy is that they're still doing it after all the reports that I've made. Not only, I mean, I guess if you get to that point, they must figure they're going to be, spending the rest of their lives in jail anyway. So what's a few more felonies? But what I mean by crazy is all the people I've reported it to who have done nothing. So anyway, this isn't going to be a long live stream. I am just going to be talking a little bit about YouTube fraud. And I touched on this yesterday, but one of the things that I started seeing in August of 2024 was that here's the thing. I had been streaming pretty consistently and publishing pretty consistently between May 2019 up through the beginning of 2023. I was doing Bible studies, book reviews, interviews with authors, had other, like little short videos in between all that. But I got involved in some overseas ministry where I was teaching Pakistanis just via Zoom. I just had my Zoom subscription and WhatsApp. And so I was doing that at first, and then that transitioned to helping some African Christians, teaching them, and also doing what I could to, honestly, I don't even know what to call it. I was just discovering along with them the options that were available for them for immigration. So I was just trying to be a friend with them, kind of be the point of contact, parsing information as we were coming across it, and just looking for options. So anyway, I started teaching in Pakistan at the end of 2021, and then in 2022, it got really intense. So that was part of the reason that I slowed down on my regular publishing, and why I wasn't paying as much attention to like my own sites and platforms, because I had an entire church full of people that were like looking to me. And let me just say, I told them up front, my friend Mark Ritchie got me involved in this, and I just said, Mark asked me because I teach good Bible studies. I don't know anybody. I don't have connections. I mean, I did in my local community, but like as far as immigration, I didn't know anything about it. I'm not independently wealthy, and I know nothing about immigration. And I told them this multiple times, and they didn't believe me. So I had to learn about immigration. But anyway, that was why I wasn't paying as much attention to my own stuff, right? Because I was doing all this stuff for the journal. I was doing all this stuff for the Afghans. And in the middle of this, these friends, so-called friends, that I was spending so much time promoting were systematically stealing everything I was publishing and then sabotaging me behind it. And I'm not just talking about externally on my websites. I'm talking about they're little criminals. They're criminals. Okay, I probably should say alleged because they haven't been convicted. But when you commit crimes, you're a criminal. Anyway, one of the things that I was noticing as all this hacking was going on and getting really intense in 2024 was that when I started paying attention to my own stuff, I realized that they had wiped descriptions on a lot of my videos. My transcripts had been sabotaged, but also, not only that, they had some of the watch time and the views were removed. And I was like, this is just really weird. This is like infrastructure level sabotage. I can't do this. I can't remove like the number of views or likes or things. I mean, I could block a user from the account, and I'm assuming that that would remove their likes, but some of the stuff I could not do, right? And so on that first live stream that I did on August 4th, 2024, it's a long one. It's a long one. One of the things, I promise, there's so many things that I have on my list to do, but the past month, I've just been having to spend time counteracting sabotage because it literally, not that they declare all out war because they're a bunch of pansies, but they have just the past month, I'll explain why. It has just been nonstop. Literally at this point, I think they bribed somebody at Namecheap, who is my registrar, quite frankly, because my registrar account has been locked for 11 days at this point, and I can tell that the name servers are not resolving to the name servers I have. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. I explained more yesterday, but anyway, so that means since they have control over my name servers for my domain, they're controlling who gets to my site. I just saw that today. They're bringing up, they're making it inaccessible based on who visits it. I saw that today when I was going to it on one of my sites on one IP through a VPN versus another. And they're also controlling my emails. So anyway, I mean, I'm getting emails, but I know I'm not getting all of them. And I think they have some filters set up so that some of the emails just never get to me. I don't know if they get them or if they're just making sure I don't know. But anyway, I will eventually put up the whole text version of that. So it's a little bit easier to go through and see all the things I talk about in that 3-hour live stream, I promise. But one of the things I show in that is I have a video clip of the analytics of my YouTube channel where you can see very obviously that they're faked. They're not faked. It's like there'll be spikes on a particular, but the count doesn't go up. I mean, it's obviously faked. So I thought this was YouTube level. Well, I mean, it is. It is YouTube level in some ways. But what I did not know was that there is this whole thing called a multi-channel network where you basically have some poobah of YouTube that has this network, right, is in control of this network, and they control a massive amounts of channels within that network. So it's kind of like if you do web development and you've ever used MainWP, which have a lot of WordPress sites. It's kind of it's just a main dashboard where you can control all the, update plugins, change different things without having to log into the different sites. That sounds to me kind of like what the multi-channel networks are. Gemini, the Google chat, Google AI model told me about this, because I really haven't even seen any articles about this. But anyway, if these owners of the multi-channel network, they can take watch time from other accounts in their network and move it to other accounts that they want to feature and focus. They can take subscribers from all these other accounts and move them over to these other channels. And I know there's many reasons that I know that my channels have been basically hijacked into one of these networks, because I have seen when I first moved my channels from the Gmail account that they were originally on to a new one, before the jackasses started hacking me and getting the same sort of control that they had on my original account, I could see through the analytics that, like, just for example, like one time when I was beginning to move it and break all those associations, I went into an interior screen in my YouTube channel and the analytics, and it was showing that I had 1,000 more subscribers than I do. When I was looking at the Google Analytics, so there's YouTube Analytics on your YouTube channel, and then there's also a separate Google property, Google Analytics. When I was looking at that and just setting it up, again, before they had hacked, they send these jackasses after me to steal sessions when I'm out, on these accounts, and that's how they get access to it. And here's the thing about Google. It is impossible to keep any Google account clean, because there's no option to log out of all other accounts. You just can't even do it. So anyway, but I saw in one of the reports that it said that I had a net increase. So this is a little bit later, a net increase of 500 subscribers. So my subscription count has been at the same amount for years. I have not had, I have over 500 channels, and they're good videos, not just a bunch of crap slapped up talking about nothing. They're substantive. I publish good work. Anyway, so they, it seems to me like what they're doing is that they just have certain points where they harvest off the watch time, harvest off, move off your, I think it's all pretty much probably AI managed. But anyway, so I know that's the case. Just the fact that the way they control the channels, right? The things that they manage, I know that that's the case. So I talked a little bit about this yesterday. Number one, I knew that my accounts had been hijacked into something like that. I knew it. What is supposed to happen is that if you are in one of these networks, it's supposed to show on your studio dashboard who you're affiliated with, and all of your revenue goes to the network owner, and then they're supposed to pay you. That's how it's supposed to work. So I can't see that. Even though I know that there's control over it, it's channel based, not the email. But the email had something to do with the connection. There was a little bit there too. But anyway, so on March 22nd, I was just going through moving everything that I had established through different Google properties like Google AdWords, Google Search Console, Google Tag Manager, Google Ads, all of it. I was breaking all the connections from my original Gmail account that I had had for 20 years, and that included AdSense. And when I got to the AdSense account, I could tell that the dashboard that I was seeing was faked. So this is what they're doing. This is just across all kinds of different accounts and platforms. Somehow they get, I don't know how exactly they're doing this, but what I was reading today is that I don't even think it has to be accessed through your particular account. It could be anybody's account. According to this article I read today, it could be anybody's account on a platform, and they get into it. It's like there's, all these accounts are all these open doors, right? And one door is unlocked and they get into it and they're embedded into the system itself. And so I was just reading an article today about that these Chinese hackers had gotten into a bunch of US telecoms, and it's just, they're basically, all the user accounts are compromised. But what they have been doing with mine is, it's called I didn't even know what it was called until just a few days ago, but I have been just calling it like a facade or a faked dashboard, because what I see is not the actual dashboard. So they put an overlay of the real interface, right? And so they have access and control to the real interface. But what you see is this picture of what they want you to see. So you think that there's no other sessions on your account when there actually is, but the facade is hiding it. Or you don't actually have access to, like, this is Google AdWords. I should be the primary user on that account. What they have done is they've demoted me to a subsidiary access, making themselves as the admin, but the facade makes it look like I'm the owner. I have literally, that Google AdWords account that I've had forever, I literally saw the dashboard change as I was taking screenshots and looking at it. When I first logged in, it said manager, and then I'm taking screenshots, making notes, and then it changes to admin. Not even joking. I tried to close that Google AdWords account, couldn't do it. I didn't have the rights to do it. What they just did recently, this is on the new Gmail account that I created to move everything over to, trying to make it a clean one, which they've just literally, like a rabid pack of hyenas. They made my legacy marketing property that I had on my Google Analytics account. Somehow they made me just a subsidiary role. I couldn't modify and change that account. I couldn't even remove the website from the account. I had to delete the whole account on Google, on Analytics. They do this all over. And what the point is that they're trying to do is, I deleted that AdSense account, right? And so they're trying to fake a verification so they can get control over it again. So I've just been deleting things off. I deleted the verification. I have nothing on, there shouldn't be any Google tags of anything on my website, because I deleted it all from the properties themselves, right? I'm talking about the Google properties, deleted it all. And when I started this new Gmail account, I thought, okay, I'm going to link everything up. And I created, and this is after I had deleted the other one, and I created a new AdSense account on that new Gmail. Came back, it was denied because it said you have another AdSense account. I'm like, send a feedback back. I said, look, no, I don't. Went back again, and I sent a second message and feedback saying I had this account on originally. I deleted that AdSense account, and this is the one I'm establishing. So I didn't get any notification that it had been approved, but when I went in there to check just this last week, that AdSense account had been approved. At this point, I know that they've already compromised that whole new Gmail account, so I deleted that second AdSense account too. They're not going to be using me and my accounts as a mule for their crimes. It's not going to happen. So anyway, going back to this multi-channel network, they were using my AdSense account, but I couldn't see the true picture of what was behind it, right? And I know that they have been stealing watch time. And, this is the thing. The amount of watch time is how people get paid. So if you go to your job and you put in hours at work, right? You get paid, you get money for the hours that you put in. So on YouTube, the amount of watch time, the amount of time people watch you, that's how you get paid. So when they steal the watch time from your channel, it's the same thing as if somebody went and marked out the hours that you worked at work and said that they put them in. It's exactly the same. It's theft. So they have been stealing from me for years on that. Years. I'm positive. Probably at least since 2022. I'm positive. But I'm sure that I am not the only person that they have done this to, basically hijacking YouTube accounts into this network and then stealing the watch time and the subscribers of the people that are actually doing the work. I am positive I'm not. I have been in too many YouTube groups, especially for Christian content creators, where they're saying I'm not seeing any growth. I'm just stalled. Nothing seems to work. That's why. It's because I guarantee you have probably been targeted by either the same group of people that are sabotaging me, or somebody else doing the same thing, right? Probably. But if you're a Christian content creator, the odds are pretty good that it's the same jackasses that are attacking you that have been attacking me. Just saying. I've seen it. I've seen the stuff that they do. I know that they steal written work, so I'm sure they're stealing, what other people produce, the fruit of it, on YouTube as well. So let me just say this. This is my position, and I said this yesterday. I sent a demand letter and a cease and desist to the people who were on the board of an unexpected on Sunday. I didn't get any written response, no acknowledgement that they received it. The only thing that they did is that it looked to me like they were trying to set up some sort of, conditional redirect based on who was accessing the site. That's what it looked like to me. So if I went to the site, it would show to me as the content was gone, but it would still be there for other people. That's what it looked like. So Monday, I sent a DMCA claim to SiteGround, which is where the journal site is located. This is what I was talking about yesterday in my live stream that they sabotaged. So DMCA complaint is basically requesting that content be removed. If you own the copyright to it, the content be removed from whatever it is. This can be from Google search results. It can be, from websites, whatever. And I also sent them a copy of the letter that I sent to the board the day before. I included all of the links to my essays as well as the links to the PDFs on the site, because I just want it completely gone. And they sent me a response back, I think the same day actually, saying that they had received it, acknowledged receipt of it, and that they'd get back to me. And so that was Monday. And then so Thursday, when I went and checked the journal site, my articles were gone. And they had, I think it was Wednesday night when I got an automated notification from WordPress that my Gmail account, or that my email account, had been removed as an administrator from the site on SiteGround. And then today I got a notification. And this is the thing, the emails were delayed. They were delayed like 10 hours. So they're redirecting my emails so that they see them first. But anyway, so Wednesday late, I got a message that they had removed me as administrator. So they put me as some sort of administrator on SiteGround. I've never had anything to do with the website on SiteGround. Grant Broadhurst was in charge of it. And I don't have access to it. I don't even know, the interface on that. But I think part of it was because, again, they've been trying to fake my involvement with them. And I used to do things on the website, but I've been totally hands off since Grant took it over in November of 2022. Yeah, 2022, I think, or it's 2023. I don't remember. I have to go back and look. But anyway, it was when it was turned to completely change the branding. I mean, these people, honestly, the way that they break brands, I honestly think it's deliberate sabotage, quite frankly. But anyway, there was that. And then I got another one last night saying that they had completely removed my data from the website. So the only actual response I've gotten out of everybody that I've contacted has been from SiteGround. They were the only ones that responded promptly and actually took action. And so I personally have not used SiteGround. I've always used hosts that are where I can have multiple sites, but honestly, they're like the only ones that get a gold star in responding out of all of this. So if you're looking to get they're one place that I would refer to, just because they do have responsive support, and I really have not seen that in most of these cases. So anyway, but they're still hacking my stuff. They're still trying to control my accounts. And so let me just say, there should be no AdSense account for me at all. I deleted them intentionally. I'm not having them reinstated. Secondly, I know that my watch time has been stolen for years, and my subscribers. So first of all, I never consented to being in some multi-channel network. Didn't even know what it was until a few months ago. So that was illegal. My channels were commandeered illegally. Did not agree to that. My watch time has been stolen for years. My content has been stolen, and there are who even knows how many hundreds of videos that have been created using a script based off of my work. I never gave any consent to my work being used to create AI models, to have a ghost written off of. Nobody has a right to use it, period, except for me. The only exception to that was I kept the copyright. They had no right to give any license or use to anybody else. So if anybody has anything based off my work, you know what? That's a receipt of stolen property, and it is a crime. And as I said in the email that I sent to the journal, I want a list of every single thing that has been created off my work. And when it comes to videos, any of those videos that has been used, it's been created based on my work, and they just have some basically live action sock puppet spewing words that they are just given because they're essentially just owned cattle by some multi-channel network owner. I want 50% of the revenue that those videos generated. I want all of the watch time returned, and I want the videos taken down. And if that person is supposedly this YouTube creator doesn't have anything of their own, too bad. It doesn't deserve to exist. But also the fact that they have been using my AdSense accounts and my other accounts to basically funnel their fraud through, those are my accounts, right? And so if you're operating in my name, I get to say what happens. And so if I have any control over it, every single channel that you have co-opted illegally into that multi-channel network needs to be released immediately. And the same thing goes for their videos and their watch time. All the watch time should be returned to the channels that they were stolen from. And if their work was used to create these bunch of frauds, then they should be getting a portion of their revenue too, and those videos need to be taken down. And if you're saying, oh, I didn't know it was stolen, you know that you didn't create it. You know you didn't create it. You know that you're just a fraud sitting up there acting like you're some authority or expert in some field, and you know nothing and you have nothing. You don't deserve to be there. You don't deserve that job, and you don't deserve that income. And furthermore, I don't know about other states, but I do know that in the state of Texas, that if you pretend to have expertise, training, or education that you do not actually have, not only is that deceptive and fraudulent, where you're presenting yourself as something that you're not, that's deceit on a fundamental level, but it is also a Class B misdemeanor in the state of Texas. It is a crime. So, as far as I'm concerned, you should just be glad that your butt isn't sitting in jail. So anyway, that's my position on it, and that is, I mean, one of the things I really resent, it's not even just the theft. It's not even just the theft. It's because they're still stealing my time. I have to spend so much of my time counteracting the ongoing destruction that they do. That's all they know how to do. Steal, kill, and destroy, because they're tools of Satan. They have nothing of value of their own. But anyway, this last thing before, I've said this before. Let's just, who knows how this is going to turn out. I can tell for a fact, hold on. I can tell for a fact that my channel is, as I'm streaming, that they're probably, I am sure that they're funneling it through, altering it in some way. But anyway, again, more crimes. But hold on. We're going to talk about modern day simony, because this is what you're seeing with all these YouTubers that really know nothing and are just fronts for their owners. Anyway, let's see. We're going to go to, if you're not familiar with what this is, hold on. There's simony is a word. It comes from, there's Simon the Magus in the book of Acts, where he saw, so this is a summary. He was a Samaritan magician who amazed people with sorcery. This is from Gemini. After Philip preached, Simon believed, was baptized, and was amazed by the true miracles performed. He later tried to buy the power to impart the Holy Spirit from Peter, who sternly rebuked his wickedness. So this is in Acts 8. Let me see. I'm going to read this. No, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to tell you what it was, Philip and Peter, right? So this is when, in verse 18, chapter 8 in the book of Acts, when Simon saw that the Spirit was given at the laying on of the apostles' hands, he offered them money and said, "Give me also this ability, so that everyone on whom I lay my hands may receive the Holy Spirit." Verse 20, Peter answered, "May your money perish with you, because you thought you could buy the gift of God with money. You have no part or share in this ministry, because your heart is not right before God. Repent of this wickedness and pray to the Lord in the hope that he may forgive you for having such a thought in your heart. For I see that you are full of bitterness and captive to sin." So that's the end of that particular passage. But here's the thing. This is exactly what these fraudulent Christian influencers are doing. They are taking the words of other people. They're not going to the Holy Spirit and going to God and saying, "Oh, hey, yeah, Lord, what are we going to talk about today?" Or reading the Bible for themselves and getting insights for themselves. They are literally committing the sin of simony. And quite frankly, I think it's close to the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, because the unforgivable sin is quenching the Spirit, right? Denying the conviction of the Holy Spirit. And if you're not going to God, but you're claiming to speak for him, what is that? That is utter blasphemy. That is complete and utter blasphemy. That is a violation of the second commandment. Don't take the name of the Lord your God in vain. You're not representing him correctly, because you don't even know what he says. You're just speaking the words that somebody else is giving to you. So not only is this deceit and fraud, it is literally, I don't know, I'm not Catholic, but I'm thinking that this might actually be a mortal sin in under Catholic view. So that's what I have to say. We'll see how much they damage this one. It doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, they're frauds, they're criminals. They are so utterly and totally depraved that I don't even think that they would know what a right move is if they had a road sign. I mean, they just have no idea what they're even doing at this point, other than trying to wipe me out, shut me up, cut me off from communications, and basically, I think they just live to sabotage me at this point. I don't know. But that's what I have to say. And if you go to my website at racetowalk.org, right at the moment, you can't get to it because since I knew that they were controlling the basically my domain name servers, I turned off. I basically made it so you had to have a password to get access to it. And ironically, based on a couple of things that I think that they've been doing, I think they're using my own server to basically sabotage me because it is directed to my server, but there's some sort of interference in between that they're controlling with the DNS. So anyway, that's an update. And like I said, I really couldn't care less about all these frauds of influencers that are basically all they're doing is spewing words that somebody else gives them, which have been in turn stolen from other people. Try to come up with something that of your own. I think that just that whole ecosystem of creating sometimes just straight up AI generated videos undisclosed. I mean, it says on the YouTube back end when you upload a video, you are supposed to disclose if AI was involved or if it changed anything. I mean, there's literally an entire ecosystem of channels that aren't even real people. They're just AI videos using the words that they stole from other people. That is just fraud on a massive level. It's deceit. But even when they're real people and they're not actually, when you go on YouTube, it's supposed to be broadcast yourself. You're just up there talking about whatever your thing is. But when you're basically just repeating what other people say and you're not disclosing that, would somebody still watch you if they knew that, right? Would they still watch you if they knew that the whole little interactions that you have are all fabricated and constructed, that you're basically just a paid actor, that they're not actually seeing a glimpse into your life? Would they still watch you? Because if the answer is no, then you know that is deceit and fraud, and that's the reason you're not disclosing it. It should be required to post. If you're part of some network, that network should be required to be disclosed. I mean, I can't even see it. I was hijacked into one. I can't even see it myself. So, but for the people who know they're a part of it, that should be required to be disclosed. So anyway, that's my update for today. And we'll just see how much damage they do to it. Because like I said, I can tell that it's being filtered in through the connection before it's coming to the live stream. There's probably like 2-3 minute delay from what I see on my phone and what I'm seeing as I stream. So anyway, just a bunch of fraudsters. You got to be on guard. But for any Christian YouTube creators, start pay really close attention to your analytics and just pay attention to what's going on. And because you might be surprised, and your stagnancy may have nothing to do with the algorithm or what you're putting out, but because somebody's just been stealing you dry. So anyway, right now, if you want to get more current updates, go to and follow me at Race to Walk on Twitter. That's where I've been sharing a lot of this stuff. I really haven't shared like my regular content for a long time. I've just been, posting stuff about trying to regain control over my accounts and domains. So anyway, talk to you later. Have a great weekend.